It seems that reports of my survival have been greatly exaggerated.
This is impossible.
Oh, I assure you, it is.
How?
Not how. Why? You were never meant to come here.
We have our orders. Leave the city, radio command from outside the storm wall. They send in the cavalry, we go home.
Hello there, Specopsthelinefubar once again. This is my Spec Ops The Line FUBAR Difficulty video walkthrough. This is Chapter 10, Part 2. And this section is actually pretty challenging. We have a car park coming up, which is a pain in the ass. And then we have I think it's like a football stadium or it's a swimming bath, sorry. It's like a swimming area. A lot of tiers, a lot of descending, a lot of bad guys, a lot of different levels, a lot of awkward shootouts, and it all begins with this one. So, on the far side of this car park there's a mounted gunner, and he kills you really fast. On each sides of the room are enemies, and the enemies are going to be pushing forwards, trying to flank you. I go this way because I believe it's the safest. That's me running away from a grenade, and it killed a teammate, which is never useful, but it does happen. And what is going to be the real enemy here is the teammate AI. So, I've not really bitched too much about the teammates on this game, mainly because I didn't use them for the most, and they stayed in cover and did the job. But every so often, you'll get a stretch of the game where they just do nothing but go down, and if they both go down, it puts you in a really bad spot. Because on FUBAR, if you're out of cover, you're dead. And your teammates never go down in cover. And even when they do, the cover system is so finicky and so awkward at times that you can't get into cover quick enough after the animation to survive. And it's a massive shame because it puts a big dirty shit stain on a game that is actually quite fun and definitely worth playing. It does nothing exceptional except some of its exposition moments and some of its locations, but for the most it is a fully competent game, which is far, it's well worth your attention more than some of the shit that gets released nowadays, in so many ways. But right now you'll notice I have a heavy coming towards me and both my team are dead. I get kind of lucky there because he goes down a lot quicker than I thought he would. A couple of explosions and a bunch of bullets to the gut really helped out for me there. But right now, how am I alive? How am I alive just then? I don't know, and I can't answer you guys, because I know for every other time that happens, I would have died then. And it's literally one of these moments where, whenever you have to go out and pick your team up, you know you're going to die. And if you don't die, it's a blessing. You're already planning what you're going to do different next time to try and avoid those situations, and that is literally how dangerous those moments are. And once again, he's gone down. And I do apologise for the timbre of my throat. I've drank far too much for the last 5 days in a row. And it's funny how much it affects your voice. And like last night, I wasn't even drunk. I'd only had about 5 pints, but it still got to my throat, and I'm assuming it's the dehydration. But keep your distance, keep safe, watch out for the cheeky grenades, hope your team stay standing, and actually what I should say is, to get rid of the mounted gun, there's a propane tank directly in front of it that you can shoot, and you can probably shoot this from some deceptively long range if you know where it is. I was unlucky in this part as I'd forgot what I was supposed to do at this point, because my short-term memory, guys, is atrocious. It really is. I play games which are old-school shoot-em-ups, and the entire point of those games is to memorise the patterns of the enemies, so that the next time you play, you can preemptively kill them and get your high score and all that kind of good stuff. I cannot remember for the life of me the pattern of those enemies unless I play that game for 50 hours, and I'll never play it for 50 hours because it's just not who I am. And the whole point of those games is memorisation, and I can't memorise stuff like that. It's just not how I function. And it's hilarious because that's the whole point in them, and I still enjoy them. And speaking of them, I do a series called Credit Feeding with Specopsthelinefubar, and I haven't done it for a while, and I've got about 4 or 5 different games that are sitting on the side waiting for me to do them, and I've got no excuse other than I'm lazy. And I was going to do one today, but I ended up doing some more Saints Row, which a lot of people will be happy about. I didn't do too many though, because I thought my mic was fucking up when it wasn't. But those shooting games are great, and once I've done the ones released on Xbox, I'm probably going to do the PC ones, the Toho series. I don't know how you pronounce that correctly, but it's essentially a curtain fire shooter, and Those games are insane. If people think, you know, this type of game is hard, you should try those. They're just impossible, it seems. But they're fun, and I have a lot of fun doing them in the live, and people enjoy my live commentaries, so it should be pretty cool. But keep on pushing forward. Another sequence is down. We're moving into the swimming area now. This bit can be quite difficult. You'll notice I'm running around picking up as much ammo as I can. Weapons are complete and utter preference. I generally try to keep the one that I'm most comfortable with out of the pack. That for this right now would be the saw, but the saw is also probably the one I have the lowest ammo for. So just pick what you're comfortable with and then push forward. But I got a bunch of donations at Christmas, which is extremely nice, and I'm grateful for each and every one of them. I'm going to do a video, probably a short PvP video from Dark Souls, where I thank people by name so they know who they are and they know that I've received it and everything, and I'm grateful. And yeah, that's pretty awesome, that, because I don't check the PayPal account enough, because there's a lot of people donating, and it just blows me away, because I haven't even been paid by TGN yet, and yet there's these people that enjoy what I'm doing so much so that they want to put their hard money towards it. That's just, it's insane to me. That it's so nice, but at the same time it's so crazy. And I've been looking into XSplit and Twitch TV because I want to start streaming. I think my internet can support it at the moment, and I will be getting better internet when I move out, and I'm hoping to move out in the coming year. And I want to stream. I really want to stream, because not only is, you know, every time I'm on, I'd like to stream, because I can be on quite frequently during the week, and it's just a nice opportunity to interact with the people that have supported my channel. The only problem is, I downloaded XSplit, and it kept fucking up. It kept erroring when I was doing the unzip, and I was waiting for it to install, and every single time there was some random error occurred, or it froze and went unresponsive, and every time it didn't fully go through. And then the one time that it seemed like it did, it errored again, but the program was on my computer. When I opened it up, it wouldn't register at all. And the thing with TGN is, they give you free access to XSplit apparently, but it's hidden a lot better than you'd think it would be. Oh, be careful here, this guy comes from the top balcony, and I kind of expected it, as you noticed. I preemptively looked up there. And I do that every so often, because it's one of those moments where you go, if I was a developer and I wanted to be a cheeky bastard, that is where I'd put the dude, and lo and behold, that's where he was. But anyway, I'm having trouble with XSplit. I'm probably going to throw a video up asking people who use it, who understand it, to try and help me out, because I really want to do some streaming. It's cool, and judging by a lot of people on there a lot of people make their living from streaming because they do the subscription stuff, and there's something about that subscription on there that feels a bit, I don't know, a bit dickish. I don't know, I was reading one last night. It was £4.99 a month, which, don't get me wrong, if you're working, that's note. It really isn't. And depending on how much the person streams and how much you enjoy them, that's probably well worth it. But at the same time, it's kind of like charging your fans for nothing, and I feel a bit weird about that, so I don't know how that works. I know it stops you from getting the adverts, which, don't get me wrong, I think I'd pay £5 just to stop those fucking pop-ups, because they're so annoying on Twitch TV. And I don't know, because if I do start streaming, I'll definitely start trying to do it as professionally as I can, and if I can make some kind of revenue from it, I'll definitely go for that. But I want to make it fair and worthwhile, because the one thing that really gets me is people getting money for nothing. I hate that, I really do, and I would never want to take money off of people and never give anything in return, because to me that's as low as it gets. That's up there with credit card scams and shit like that, and fucking, "You've won a holiday, Mrs. Brighton. You're 94 years old, your eyes are failing you, and you've read this wrong, so you've sent off to get your free holiday, when really, all you're doing is getting £200 worth of phone bills on 0800 fucking 0845 numbers, and in the end, you win a keyring." Sorry for the immense amount of fucking puns in this conversation. It's a lot of schemes in this world, guys. A lot of fucking just bad folk, and that's what I would feel like if I felt like I wasn't doing a service to people on those subscriptions, so I'm interested to see how it works. But the cool thing about that situation for me is the people who would be in the chat are the people that follow me on my channel, the people that support the channel, so they're the people that it would exist for. and you have a medium there that is live to tell me how you feel about it and to tell me how it's working, so you could pretty much, you know, dictate what happens on the stream. And I think that's a good thing, and it's something I want to work towards, and it's something I should be doing, but it just hasn't happened. Because the amount of times I've played Dark Souls now, after I've made all these series, is where I haven't recorded, and I thought, oh, there goes my phone. That's my girlfriend asking me if I've heard anything from the people that were supposed to be out drinking with us last night. And unfortunately, I have to reply in 5 minutes because I'm doing a commentary. And that's not because I think that YouTube's more important than my girlfriend, it's just a case of I've started, so I'll finish. What the fuck was I on about? Oh yes, Dark Souls. I've done a lot of PvP where I thought I'd recorded and I hadn't, and if I'd streamed it, it'd be up on the stream site for people to see. Because I had a bunch of gank fights in the Chasm of the Abyss, in the DLC area. And some of them were really crazy, but I wasn't capturing at the time because I was probably uploading or something or watching something, and I spent an hour yesterday looking for those videos. I say yesterday, earlier today. My brain's just all jacked, I do apologise. And I couldn't find them at all, and it turns out I didn't even capture them, which is always an embarrassing moment when you've got something great and it's lost forever and no way to prove how awesome it was. Be really careful here, guys, as well when you push up, because there's a couple of really funny spawns in these corridors, and every so often you might get a guy behind you or a guy above you, and the checkpoint is all the way at the top of this entire sequence of firefights we've just gone through. So if you think I'm being a little too tentative, it's because the checkpoint here is kind of awkward. The last one we would have got is when we walked across the elevator just then, so between here and then you've got one checkpoint, so use it wisely. And because you are going down from the height advantage, it isn't much of an advantage against the computer when they've got perfect aim and your team are getting in the fucking way and all that other jazz that seems to happen on this. But things for streaming as well. Games that I have absolutely no intentions of uploading, I would be able to share with people who might enjoy it. And don't get me wrong, there might be a load of people just, you know, don't play this, play something else, because you always get those folks, but at the same time, it's diversity, and diversity is something that doesn't do well on YouTube. It's kind of funny, actually. Ooh, this is worth noting. You can shoot these guys through these stairs, and for some reason, the pathing of the AI always makes them go towards the last known conflict, and to these folks, it's the first dude I shot. So they keep going to the bodies expecting to see something important, and I shoot them. And it just repeat. So you go. This is the easiest way of thinning the enemy's numbers without pushing forward. You're in no danger of them returning fire. Apparently the slats in between the stairs are too hard to see through for the AI, so we've got the human advantage here working our way. But yeah, diversity on YouTube. All it generally means is you get a lot of unappreciated content, and it is a shame, but it's just human nature. People flock towards what's popular even if they don't like it, and the unpopular stuff just gets left in the mists of, you know, the people that are super into it. And I think streaming is probably a better medium for diversity than YouTube is. Because right now there's a lot of people that would love me to do nothing but Black Ops 2 multiplayer. On the other hand, there's a lot of people that would love me to do nothing but Dark Souls multiplayer or Dark Souls content. But the problem with that is you get shoehorned into these collections, and it's very difficult to get out of them. And what happens is your Dark Souls videos have a few thousand views, every other video you make has a couple hundred, and that is not a following. That is literally, you know, that is not the numbers you want. Oh, there's your checkpoint, by the way, sorry guys. That is the only checkpoint you will get as you make your way down here. So all the firefights we've just done, you'll have to repeat. And you'll notice there's a crossfade because I always get reckless after a checkpoint, and I probably paid the price. But streaming is a great facility, and I want to be able to do it, and I want to stream and talk to the people that, you know, perhaps don't comment too much on my YouTube channel, and you know, to actually get a one-to-one response, because text is a funny thing. You know, it's got no context or tone, and a lot of the times you can say something completely innocent and it can be misconstrued as something offensive. And I don't know, it's a nice thing to have. And I would stream things along the lines of guide recording runs, so you could see the struggle. You could, you know, feel like you're behind the scenes, feel like you're you know, you're the ultimate fan of the channel type stuff, just dropping knowledge on the less informed, and just little things like that that people enjoy. Myself, I enjoy that type of stuff, so I know others will, because it's just how it works. And maybe play stuff with my girlfriend, and because I've been meaning to do some more things with friends and stuff, but it's one of those times where it's so hectic and everybody's, you know, busy in the rat race of life, effectively, that it's hard to arrange that type of stuff. Oh, and when you kill this last guy on the gun, by the way, it will end the sequence and then we'll be warped from this area to the next level, which is a short, on the rails, no checkpoint ride of doom. Thanks for watching, guys, and you take care now.